Hello, OT friends, and welcome to the Uncommon OT series. I'm Patricia Modis, and I'm your host, a Filipino-American, native New Yorker, currently based in Los Angeles, bulldog mama, and an uncommon occupational therapist myself for the past 22 years. On this podcast, you will hear me proudly feature the unique careers of occupational therapy practitioners working in non-traditional and role-emerging practice areas, settings where OT is uncommon. I invite you to receive a dose of OT inspiration, to learn, to think outside of the box, and to be energized and motivated to follow in these unconventional paths. Happy listening! Before we begin this episode, I want to extend a special thanks to Picmonic, our sponsor. If you are an OT or OTA student looking for an excellent learning resource and study aid, Picmonic might be for you. Whether you're studying for your classes or getting ready for the NBCOT exam, it is a visual mnemonic learning tool that has been research proven to increase retention and help students ace their exams. It uses audio-visual learning and intelligence-based repetition algorithms to help with long-term retention while studying. If you're interested in trying it for yourself, sign up today using the link in the show notes or using the code TRANSITIONSOT to score a discount of 20% off your Picmonic membership. Welcome back, OT friends. Today we are putting a spotlight on occupational therapy through the voices of those who live it every day. In celebration of World Occupational Therapy Day, a global event that kicked off on October 27, 2010, thanks to the World Federation of Occupational Therapists, we're exploring what this incredible profession truly means and the essential work that occupational therapy practitioners do worldwide. This year's theme, Occupational Therapy for All, couldn't be a better fit for this episode and the mission of the Uncommon OT series podcast. This series is all about uncovering the unique and often unexpected ways occupational therapy practitioners support individuals and communities, whether they're in hospitals, schools, or the most unconventional settings. These occupational therapy practitioners ensure that meaningful activities are accessible to people of all ages, backgrounds, and circumstances. Whether it's about building independence, fostering connections, or supporting communities, occupational therapy is all about ensuring everyone can engage in these occupations that make life fulfilling. So in today's episode, you will hear from 20 occupational therapists practicing in some pretty uncommon settings. I asked them one big question. What is occupational therapy? Each therapist shares their own insights and provides their elevator pitch specifically about occupational therapy, explaining how they empower individuals and communities in unique and impactful ways. So get ready to gain a deeper understanding of occupational therapy as we celebrate the profession and the powerful idea of occupational therapy for all through the voices of those who know it best. Let's jump in.
I love this because I have the opportunity to ride for 45 seconds in an elevator every day. So I usually say it is occupational therapy is a health profession that works with people of all ages, helping them do the things that they love to do. And then if I'm in the elevator, I'll say, what do you like to do? And the students will look at me cross-eyed and say, why is this woman speaking to me in the elevator? Realize I'm the faculty that live with them in the dormitory. They usually will answer, well, I love to do soccer. And I'll say, close your eyes. And they'll, again, think that's kind of strange. And I'll say, wake up to a new reality. Open your eyes. And now you're not able to do that favorite activity. An occupational therapy practitioner would be there to help you.
Occupational therapy is about the therapeutic use of self. And so I think the best elevator pitch is really using myself in that therapeutic capacity. So I ask a question about them first. Have you ever experienced someone that you loved and really cared about having an injury or an illness, or even progressing through something like cancer that just took away the things that you used to love to do with them. And people generally do. And then just kind of taking that opportunity to build off of what they have experienced, what has a connection already in their heart, and then using that to share with them that there's a power in occupational therapy that can actually bring about the opportunity to engage in that activity that was so meaningful or created such a memory for that individual. And that we're the ones that figure out how to do that with you. But I whenever asked about my elevator pitch, I always share the story of being at the Centennial, and I had to go grab a cake out of the parking garage, and the cake said "Happy 100th Birthday, Occupational Therapy." And so I'm in my heels carrying this large cake, and I get into an elevator, and these two gentlemen were in there, and they look at my cake and they look at me, and they're like, "So what's occupational therapy?" And I said, "This is it. I'm at the pinnacle of my career. I'm asked for my elevator pitch in an elevator." And although I never got to actually describe what occupational therapy was, we were all very much celebrating together as the door opened, and I thought I had reached the pinnacle of occupational therapy forever.
Elevator speech for occupational therapy. That's one of the things that I have come to like polish a little bit more, because I get to talk to people who are not really familiar with what OT is. So I would really just say, whatever your life experience is that would make you live life fully, if there is some problems with it, like if there's a barrier to that participation in those meaningful activities, like we look at those and we help you find solutions. And it's just a matter of like, okay, how do we do that? Then I can explain to you the process. But that's the value that I can give right now.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. It's succinct and just to the point, and it can be tailored by examples.
Yes. Yeah. I usually would focus more on like what the value is. And then if they ask like, how do you do that? Then that's when I would explain, like, we analyze your performance, we analyze the task that you're doing or the occupation you're doing, and we analyze the environment that you're doing those things.
Yes.
That's our expertise as an OT, and nobody else in the profession would be able to do that other than us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think occupational therapy to me is really getting people back to what matters to them most and what's worth living. So whether it's, their physical activities, whether it's family activities, whether it's work activities, whatever matters to you that is worth living, our job as OTs is to get you back to that.
Occupational therapy is not just a profession, but it is an opportunity to support people. It is an opportunity to partner with people who need help. So I think because we can do a lot of things, so we can partner with them, we can support them, not just because normally OT would be seen as a healthcare professional, but sometimes we don't need to provide this medically or clinically oriented help, but just supporting them, telling them where they could go, where can they get this kind of help, even if it's not us directly doing that. So I think occupational therapy is an opportunity to support, partner, and ally with people.
Oh my goodness, I should have thought of one. I think of occupational therapy as a profession which supports people to be able to do the things that are important to them, really. And that's people of all ages and genders with difficulties, which may be physical, psychological, social, empowering them to find ways of living their life as fully as they can, really.
We help people live their lives, whatever they need to do, whatever they want to do. We usually have a good solution for them. So whether or not they've had some kind of event or just, disabling condition, we kind of help them get back to where they want to be. Some people who just don't feel great about themselves, we can help them, structure their time so they feel like their life's a little more meaningful.
I think occupational therapy is helping people find the activities that give their life meaning, the activities that are their medicine, that it's their own unique medicine. It's the stuff that they want to do that actually drives them, that gives them the motivation to be in the world. It's why they get up in the morning. It fulfills them. And yeah, I think that's what occupational therapy is helping people find that and do continue removing the obstacles and also giving people the skills that they need to engage in meaningful occupation, to engage in activities that fulfill them and that also help them contribute to societies and contribute to the world.
Oh, that's a great question. Um, I think the word meaningful is such a key word, and I would describe occupational therapy as helping someone with the things that are meaningful to them.
Oh, yes. Occupational therapy is using activities to help people do the things that they want to do in life. We work with everyone from infants all the way up to people at the end of their lives. And it's one of the best professions because there are so many different areas that we can work in.
A profession that works on skills that contribute to the things that you like and have to do every day. So similar to other rehab professions, we can work on rehabbing a part or, modifying something for you, adapting. But it's all based on kind of getting you back to the things that you love to do.
Okay. Occupational therapy is an allied health profession where we support people in doing the activities that are most meaningful to them, that they need to do, have to do, want to do in their daily life in order to live life to its fullest.
So I describe OT as people who help people with all the things that occupy their time. 24 hours a day, sleep, work, play, childcare. And that's where often people think it has to do when they get referred to me, they think it has to do with their work, their employment. So I generally start most of my client interactions with broadening, like we're going big scope here, all the parts of your day.
I usually be like, well, as an occupational therapist, I support people in having meaningful activities in their life. When working with children, what that often looks like is supporting them in play, in being able to be independent in their own self-care.
Ooh, occupational therapy is the kind of therapy that you kind of get your clients back to doing anything that they need to be doing in their lives, any of their occupations. Like if it's, something play related for a child, if it's something home related for somebody who lives on their own, if it's something like even as simple as getting out of bed for someone with struggling with some mental health issues, if it's just, getting organized in life because life is chaotic and they're needing some help kind of organizing. So OT is kind of the catch-all of everything. We can really do pretty much anything.
Ooh, so
I always worked in some kind of human service or that kind of path where I was always in a helping profession, even before I started my OTA schooling. And I think that's what I've always liked about it, just being with other people and being able to see kind of the whole picture and be able to help people who can't necessarily see that whole picture get there. That's kind of my favorite part, just the getting to that whole picture, that big picture, the fine details, all of it.
Occupational therapy is a profession that is really focused on helping people engage in all of the things that occupy their time throughout their day. And we do that by looking at the whole person, taking into account their mental health, but then also, everything that goes into that person, that being. So cognition, physical abilities, every and anything that goes into that person so that we can help get them back to participating in things that occupy their time.
So my elevator speech is occupational therapists zone in on your occupations, and then we make goals to help you identify what the barriers are to completing your occupations in the way that you want to, and go from there. We have a full toolkit that ranges greatly, and we help people live the life that feels fulfilling to them despite whatever they might be facing.
So, occupational therapy, the way that I typically describe it to someone who is unaware of what an OT does or maybe has an idea, is I say it is a creative way to help someone, do what they need to do in their daily life, whether that's getting dressed, whether that's bathing, whether that's doing something outside. It works with people who may be sick, who may be injured, who may need a little bit of extra help, and tries to creatively help them, which is why I know I was initially attracted to occupational therapy for that reason. It felt like it wasn't put into a box, and it felt like you were allowed to kind of use your own sense of creativity to help that person.
My elevator pitch for occupational therapy. Occupational therapy is there to promote your participation in things that are meaningful to you. And if you can't do those things, we do our best to modify, adapt, restore your ability to do that.
Awesome. Perfect.
That's not bad, huh? That's what
I like it.
I haven't done it in a while. It's been a while. Yeah.
It's sweet. Straight to the point.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say when I describe it to my patients, I always say, it's all in the term occupation. So occupation means, how we describe it, is anything that is meaningful to you. So that can be your job, that can be you trying to get up in the morning just to do your makeup, that can be you riding a bike, playing sports, it can be you singing, it can be anything in this world that is meaningful to you. And for some reason, either it can be you were born with some congenital issue, or maybe you had an injury along the way, and for some reason you were not able to participate in that meaningful activity. There is one of us out there that can help you. We all specialize in different areas, but there is one OT out there that can really help you get back to finding a way, either with your own physical body or adapting your environment to try and get you back to what you're doing that you love.
I hope you enjoyed hearing from our 20 incredible occupational therapists as they shared their unique perspectives on what occupational therapy truly means. Their insights remind us how diverse and impactful the field of occupational therapy really is, especially in those uncommon settings where they're helping people access meaningful activities in ways we may not expect. As we wrap up our celebration of World Occupational Therapy Day, we're inspired by this year's theme, Occupational Therapy for All, which aligns perfectly with our Uncommon OT series mission, showcasing the creative and powerful ways occupational therapy practitioners bring accessibility and opportunity to people from all backgrounds. If you found inspiration in these voices, please do share this episode with a friend or colleague, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and here's to celebrating the incredible work of occupational therapy practitioners everywhere. Until next time.
And that wraps up another inspiring episode of the Uncommon OT series. Connect with me at www.transitionsot.com. And don't forget to sign up to be part of the Transitions OT community. By doing so, you'll receive my latest compiled list of uncommon OT practice settings, the latest news on mentoring offerings, uncommon OT live events, non-traditional OT resources, and more. You may also follow me on my social media pages on Instagram and LinkedIn. And if you love this episode, head on over to Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts to follow, rate, and leave a review. I also ask you to consider pledging your support to my Passion Podcast project by being a patron on Patreon. It is very much appreciated. Sending big OT love. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.